Our 2018 game-by-game prediction series continues, and under the microscope now are the Indiana Hoosiers. Tom Allen leads the Hoosiers in easily the toughest division in college football. It's the second year, and some question if this team is sliding backwards. Will that actually play out on the field? Let's dive into the schedule as we see it. And here's how that schedule breaks down. So before we go into the 2018 schedule game by game, let's break down the schedule into three easy parts. The easy peasy games, ain't gonna happen games, and of course the flip a coin contests. Here are the games that I have as easy peasy, meaning count it in the win column. Florida International, Ball State. The ain't gonna happen games, meaning count those in the other side of the ledger. Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Penn State, leaving us with the flip a coin contest and bowl games, likely hinging on winning at least 4 of these remaining 6 games. Iowa, Minnesota, Maryland, Purdue, Rutgers, and Virginia. And how does that scenario shake out? Let's go game by game with the schedule. And it all starts with a trip to FIU. Who schedules this game? Seriously, a Big Ten team going on the road to a Conference USA team? Oh wait, football, Indiana, Florida. Got it. FIU is coming off an 8-win season, but has a lot of losses to overcome. Meanwhile, Indiana, they've got a lot of returning talent and should have better play at quarterback this season. Chalk this easily into the win column. Up next, September 8th versus Virginia. And a few years ago, this would have been in the easy peasy category for the Hoosiers. But the Cavaliers, they've improved a lot. And this game could be a make or break one for Indiana's bowl hopes. Unfortunately for the Hoosiers, I don't see it happening. While hosting this game matters, so does having Bronco Mendenhall as your head coach. The cerebral coach finds a way to win this one for the Cavaliers. Week 3, that's Ball State in Bloomington. The Cardinals are a nice break after a tough loss the week before to Virginia. And there could be some concern with Ball State's veteran offense back, sort of. But the Cardinals, they don't got the defense to match what the Hoosiers can throw at them on the offensive side of the ball. So look for this to potentially be a shootout early, with Indiana pulling away in the second half to improve to 2-1 on the season. And then it's on to Big Ten play, September 22nd, with Michigan State visiting Indiana. We've kind of grown accustomed to these games seemingly being some sort of insanity, at least recently. So don't expect that to happen though this year, with MSU being strong, deep, and talented across the board. Indiana's defense not going to be able to stop the Spartans enough to make this a win. And that means 2-2 overall and a loss to start B1G play. Will a break come next at Rutgers? This isn't a flip a coin category because we really don't know where either team stands defensively heading into the 2018 season. However, I'm going to go with Rutgers in this one, and that's because of their run game, and this could be a very close game for the Hoosiers. I'll trust the team that can do the ball control game better. Right now, for me, that's Rutgers. It also means a 2-game losing streak for Indiana in Big Ten play. And it's back to the brutality, as up next, Ohio State. Will Indiana pull a rabbit out of its hat and surprise us? Not going to happen, especially not with that offensive line and Ohio State's quality and depth at defensive line. OSU runs wild in this one, and it's over at the half. Indiana, 2-4 overall, 0-3 in conference play. October 13th, Iowa in Bloomington for homecoming. This could be the bellwether game for both teams. Iowa is and has always been a different team at home than on the road. However, I just see a stronger Hawkeyes team being able to assert its will against this Hoosiers defense. It'll be close for 3 quarters, but Nate Stanley, he gets the Hawkeyes over the finish line and drops Indiana to 0-4 in Big Ten play. The fun continues. Penn State up next. Death, Texas, and Penn State beating Indiana. It's happened 20 of the last 21 times these two schools have met, and with Trace McSorley at QB and an improving defense in the mix, it'll happen again. It's officially time to panic in Bloomington, as Tom Allen's crew will now be 2-6 overall and 0-5 in conference contests. Up next, on October 26th, is at Minnesota. Much like Iowa, the Hoosiers are a different team when playing at home and on the road. This is an important flip-a-coin game because a loss means no bowling for Indiana in 2018, and guess what? It's exactly what I see happening. The Gophers, they may have a lot to figure out on offense, but their defense is criminally underrated. Look for that to win out at home in what could be a really ugly affair in Minneapolis. Make it 6 straight B1G losses for the Crimson and Cream. Now, after a week off, Indiana returns to action on November 10th to face Maryland. It's another of the flip-a-coin games, and it's another loss for the Hoosiers in my book. Despite all that's happening in College Park, Matt Canada's offensive style suits this team well. He's got a QB and a powerful running game to work with. If the Hoosiers haven't figured out their own QB situation in a positive way, this could be ugly, as in a blowout in Bloomington. It also pushes the losing streak to 7 straight in Big Ten play. Indiana will come off that loss to take on Michigan in Ann Arbor. It's the penultimate game on the year, and it's not a good matchup to say the least. The Maize and Blues defense, arguably the best in the Big Ten heading into the season. Then there's that offense that has finally found a run game. Make it 0 for 8 in B1G play for Tom Allen's Hoosiers. We come to the final week. It's Indiana, Purdue, the Old Oak in Bucket. Anything can happen, and Purdue may have already secured a bowl eligibility at this point in time. Call this a gut feeling for me, but Indiana finds a way to play spoiler of some sort to the Boilers and keep a goose egg, most importantly, off the Big Ten season standings. That means 3-9 overall and 1-8 in B1G conference play. That's how I see the season playing out for the Indiana Hoosiers. How do you see it happening? Leave a comment below. Better yet, follow our coverage at Talking B1G and at Talking Hoosiers on Twitter, and search for us on Facebook. I'm Andrew Coppens, publisher of Talking 10, and we'll see you for the next in our series of season predictions. Until then, keep on living the B1G life.